cloudy again. So we homestead. But I think it's safe to say that every homesteader has a little bit of prepper in them. Not every prepper homesteads, but most homesteaders have a little aspect of a prepper in them. And so today I am actually filming this as part of a collaboration called Emarchency 25. And I'm gonna show you a little thing that I do to be prepared. So as a homesteader, I try to make most of my stuff from scratch. Do I still get frozen pizza from time to time? Yes, because busy mom. But one of the things that I do pretty regularly is I make my own bread and make my own bread products type of a thing. And that is great until the power goes out, because then I don't have a functioning oven. I can make food on top of our wood stove, but what am I gonna do for a bread? That is where English muffins come in. And you could do like tortilla soft shells as well, because they're fried. But today I'm gonna actually show you guys how to do English muffins on top of a wood stove. Like I said, this video is actually part of a collaboration called Emarchency 25. I joined it last year and did like a dessert meal in a jar. And this time they're doing everything prepping. So look in the description box below. There's a whole playlist that you can go through, and there is some fantastic advice, tips, and tricks from people who have filmed before me, and I'm sure there's going to be a lot more of that with the people coming after me. There's also giveaways and prizes, and Natasha over at Budget Preppers, I believe is her channel. Sorry if I'm wrong. It'll be down in the description. She is showing how to use some of these prizes. Some of them is a Jace case, which is more of a medical prescription bag that you can get medication. There is some car maintenance things. There is a kettle cooker, like take a kettle and it can boil water. And then there's also going to be a Thrive Life chef pack, which I love Thrive Life, I'm part of. I've cooked with that chef pack before. And then I believe there is some freeze-dried dog food or pet food, and I believe a 6-month free subscription to City Preppers, I believe is what it is. So if you want to be in the drawing for one of those prizes, you need to leave a comment on every single video that you watch. The more videos you put down, the more comments you put down, the greater chances you are of winning, because they will randomly pick a video and then they will see all who commented and put those commenters in a wheel and draw a name. So you never know what video they're going to pick, and then you don't know whether your name is going to be picked or not. So I believe they'll probably throw in some more at the end. They normally do. They throw in some extra prizes and stuff like that. So check out the description below. Everything's listed on there. I believe it is April 5th is the live giveaway. So definitely check that out. So back to the English muffins. You can do sourdough English muffins, or you could do, all English muffins have an aspect of sourdough. So if you are already familiar with cooking sourdough, English muffins is not going to be difficult for you. If you are not familiar with sourdough, English muffins may be one that stretches you just a little bit. I do have a sourdough starter, however, it's been in the refrigerator for a while, so I found a recipe that I could go ahead and make a pre-fermenting this morning. And so then I went ahead and mixed up the rest of the dough. I have, I think, 1 or 2 more stretch and pulls on it. Again, if you do sourdough, you know exactly what I mean by a stretch and pull or a stretch and fold. And so once the dough is actually rised and ready to go, that is when I will go ahead, roll it out and cut it. Now this recipe I'm using, I actually got it from King Arthur, the flour brand, King Arthur, their website. And they had a really great idea. It said if you don't want to deal with the scraps, you could actually cut your English muffins square and just make them square. And so you don't have to worry about when you do round on a rectangle piece of dough that you have your scraps. So I may do that. And then I need to make sure that the fire is going good in the wood stove, make sure my cast iron skillet is ready, and show you guys how to do it. Now, you can do English muffins just on an electric griddle or even in a frying pan on a stove. So you do not have to do this on the wood stove. I am of the mindset of I want to practice things so then that way if I have to do them, I know what I'm doing. I've made soups, I've made chilies, I've even made like eggs and bacon on the wood stove before. So I'm teaching myself how to actually cook on the wood stove. That way, if it ever happens, I'm more familiar with it, I'm more comfortable with it, and hence that's why I want to do the English muffins. Just fair warning, I have not done the English muffins on the wood stove before, so we are gonna just watch it and learn together as I'm doing it. I'm a big fan of just, you know what, I'm gonna show you guys and you can learn from my mistakes as I'm doing it. So that's what I'm gonna be doing. And my biggest piece of advice for prepping for emergencies is start practicing ahead of time. I've even contemplated what would it look like if we went 12 hours without electric? What if we went 24 hours without electric? So then that way I kind of know what my holes are, what my gaps are, what I need to work on. So then that way when I don't have the choice and the power goes out, you know, snowstorms, hello, we live in Montana, talk about snowstorms, you know, whatever it be, then I'm ready. And I'm not taken by surprise. I'm not in a panic. I'm not in a whirlwind. I'm not like, like, what do I do? Because I've practiced. I've practiced cooking on it. We have a hand pump, so I know how to work the hand pump, you know. Practice doing some things before you're forced to have to do it for the first time. So I will catch up with you here in a minute or two once the dough is ready to roll out. All right, let's get started with the dough. It looks nice and puffy. It's hard to see, but I put a little bit of cornmeal down. I need a little bit more than that. Okay, and they say about 1/2 inch. We should get about 6 total. I do not have a biscuit cutter, so I'm using just a cup. I thought about doing it in squares, but I think I'm gonna go ahead and make them round. Oh, I think that looks about right. I got some parchment paper over here, again with some corn. Oh my word, I want to call it corn powder. That's not right. My brain is not working very well. Let these rise for about 1/2 hour, and in that time my wood stove should kind of not be quite so hot. I filled it with a little bit of wood here not so long ago, so it should be at a more controllable type of heat. Now you might be saying, well, this doesn't do me any good, Cece, because I don't have a wood stove. You could do these on a griddle top if you know how to grill and you want to get yourself a griddle top for your grill. Do it on the grill. If you don't have one, get some cast iron. Cast iron is great because you can do them on open fires, you can do them on a grill, you can do them on a wood stove, and just start practicing with what cooking method or cooking solution that you have. I just happen to have a wood stove, and so that's what I'm learning on. But if I didn't have the wood stove, I'd probably be trying it on the grill. So that's my little 2 cents. Let these rise, and then we're gonna fry them up. Normally the back of your wood stove is not gonna be as hot as in front and center. Yes, don't judge. We have a lot of hard water and we are always keeping water on and it sprays out over and such not. So I am going to go ahead get this cast iron skillet nice and hot. These guys have rose, I feel like enough that we're gonna go ahead get them started. This is the small issue with cooking in your living room. You have no counter space, you have like nothing. Oh, I need to go get something that I can put on the end of my hot pad so I can move things around. So I'm gonna just let that warm up for a little bit and then we'll be back. All right, we're gonna go ahead, put one on and see how it works. It's sizzling just a little, so I'm gonna let this one kind of go. Wait till it gets a little bit warmer. You leave it on one side for quite a while. I'm talking like 10 minutes or so before you flip them, because you're kind of cooking them halfway through and flipping them and letting them cook again. So it's a slower process. This whole thing from start to finish is not like, hey, let's have English muffins for breakfast. I started this like 9 o'clock this morning and it is now going on 4:30 and I'm just now getting ready to fry them. So it is not something that's a quick, simple thing. It takes time. Gonna let them cook for a while. Okay, this is why I need to practice with this, because that very first one I tried that I put on, it's already turning brown and it has maybe been on there for like 2 or 3 minutes. So I'm gonna definitely need to move it back here to the back of my wood stove where it is not as hot. And I will probably rotate it around because I'm assuming this corner right here is probably the least hot, and over here is going to be the hottest. Okay, it's not turning black, so we're still okay. Okay, yeah, these two back ones definitely did not get as much heat. Turn them around like that. All right, we'll let those go for a little while longer again. Okay, I had flipped them one other time, and now I think I'm going to cut one of them open and see if they are truly done inside or not. They are not quite done inside. It is still pretty gummy. It's very hot. They're very close to being done. So I think I'm gonna give them another 5 minutes yet. And then I still have, I'm just using the armrest of my chair. I still have the two kind of uglier looking ones that I will put on once these are done, but basically that's how you do English muffins on the stove, on a wood stove. It is hot. I now understand the saying of being like slaving in front of the wood stove. Like, it's hot. I think we're gonna go ahead and make breakfast with these tomorrow. I think I'm gonna go ahead and do some eggs and bacon and do them. We thought about doing burgers tonight with them, but I think we're gonna go ahead and just keep them for breakfast. So it is not like, I would not recommend like a brand new beginner doing something like this, but if you are familiar with sourdough, you are familiar with the time and the process that it takes, I think you would do pretty well with English muffins. The sad thing is they only make about 6 at a time, so if you come from a big family, you may have to double it. Even us as a family of 4, this would serve for 1 meal and maybe a snack. So just an option. I was really thankful when I found out that English muffins are fried, because then I didn't I didn't feel like I needed to stress about finding another way of making a kind of bread if the power would go out, if my stove would break and have to have new parts ordered in, anything like that. Now, if it would go weeks without the power, I would probably try to find a way to make regular bread and maybe wait till the wood stove just has a bunch of hot coals in it and play around with that idea. But the English muffins would hold us over for quite a while till we would get sick of them, or we would just learn to go without a bread product. But hope this helps. Definitely go check out the playlist, check out the other content creators, go check out how you can win the prizes, which is commenting, and stay tuned for the day that the prizes are going to be drawn, which is April 5th. I'll double check that, but I'm pretty sure it's April 5th. And thanks for following along. Have a great one.